You get the trade banger, Chad.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it. So don't forget to send your trades into us so we can potentially feature your trade. But this week we've got a 12-team Superflex half-point tight end premium. Team 1 receives Justin Jefferson and a 2026 late first. Team 2 receives Jordan Love, Brian Thomas, and A.D. Mitchell.
Mike, why don't you give me your opinion of this first?
I love the trade for both teams involved, but I am pretty big on in a super flex league the side that gets a quarterback. I think, especially for the Jordan Love side, to not have to give a quarterback back, I think is pretty significant. Yeah, there's the first there, but Jordan Love, I think his hand and stuff was hurt last season, or his shoulder, or whatever it was, and that's why they were so run heavy. So I really do think he's going to have a good bounce back campaign. And Brian Thomas, he's keeping his quarterback, which I love that for fantasy, be able to keep that up again. So there's no reason why Brian Thomas can't go into the, top, 3 wide receivers at the end of the season. Justin Jefferson is getting a year older. I'm not going to say I'm scared of JJ McCarthy because he's produced with guys like Dobbs and Nick Mullins. So he's obviously an elite asset, but I do like the side to get a quarterback that I think could move up pretty significantly, a wide receiver that could as well. And it definitely is going to be late first, knowing the league format. So I'll take the Jordan Love and Brian Thomas side, but good trade. Definitely a banger for sure.
I went back and forth on this one. What I came down to, I probably like the Jordan Love side value-wise a little better, but really it just comes down to whether I need a quarterback or not. So if I'm sitting with 3 quarterbacks and I have Love to spare, then I really like the Justin Jefferson side because I'm getting an elite asset. I'm, like I said, if I can spare the quarterback, it's absolutely worth it to do. So it just kind of depends on where my roster is. I mean, if I need a quarterback, it can be really hard to do. And like you said, in a super flex league, I guess I should ask Austin, since you're that side of the trade. Who are your quarterbacks before you made the trade?
I have Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why you did it. Especially this is a very top-heavy league.
Yeah.
So maybe the top 4 to 6 teams. I mean, probably 5 or 6 teams are really only have a chance, and then there's 4 or 5 teams that really probably are just out of it.
I think that's a little underselling it. It's like
probably.
It's like 5 teams, and then there's like a cliff.
Yeah,
where it's like
I forgot. Yeah, we're putting Snoop's team in the top tier now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like the flexibility for Austin's roster to be able to play matchups with his QB2, right? Like, we all like Justin Herbert, I think, on here, think he's a great quarterback, but to be able to play some of the matchup game, I think gives Austin better flexibility. And Brian Thomas on a point per game basis could be pretty close to Justin Jefferson, but I think being able to have that flexibility at least will at the QB2 spot can definitely mind the gap.
Honestly,
I don't think they're going to be close. To be quite frank, just because Brian Thomas has added competition in his room, and then you also have the Addison suspension on Justin Jefferson's side. So I don't think it's going to be quite, at least for the beginning half of the season, I don't think it's going to be very close as far as points scored. But I do like the Jordan Love side of the trade a little bit better personally, just because, you're getting that quarterback who could potentially outscore the second quarterback on the roster. He's not just a third fit in, like Mike was saying. You can play week to week on that, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love angle, but also there's a good chance that Jordan Love just is better than Herbert this year. A very good chance.
Very, very good chance, yeah. So it might not matter if Justin Jefferson is 100 points better than Brian Thomas this year for Austin. What matters is what he does in the playoffs, because Austin's automatically in the playoffs with the way this league set up is, the way this league is set up.
Yeah, but that's how you win, is getting those players.
I hear you.
That are that 100-point difference, because divide that to the week, that's 4 or 5 points. That's how you win or lose a week. So what the difference for me for this year would be is Jordan Love going to be 4 or 5 points better than Justin Herbert on those same giving weeks to level the trade out? Because I'm also giving up my first, which does nothing for me this year, but that's one more asset I don't have for the future. So that's kind of my thought process. Was it gives me maneuverability for the QB room. If I decide I want to down tier off of Herbert or Love, I have the ability in case I need to gain a first in the future or whatever it may be. My hope is that Brian Thomas and JJ aren't but 4 or 5 points apart on a given week.
So can you do that though? Can you down tier for Herbert and get a starting quarterback plus a first? What quarterback would that be? Dart?
That'd be like Bryce Young, probably.
Bryce?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of was my thought.
That's not bad. I would do that in a heartbeat, actually. Herbert scares me this year quite a bit. He scares me overall with that staff.
The other thing that I wanted to bring up on this trade too is it's not just the week-to-week flexibility on quarterback or potential value gain there. It's also the fact that you're giving up your first, but you might be in a situation where you have to spend that first on a quarterback. So I mean, Aaron Rodgers is your third quarterback, and your second quarterback has questions.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's really hard to make trades in that league because most of us are contending that have the good players. So, like I was trying to get McBride from Jesse, for example, and, in a vacuum, I gave a fair offer and he's like, no chance I'm trading you that player because it doesn't help me and it helps you.
Trading with the competition.
That's stuff you have to think about in there. So being able to get that quarterback did make sense. To be honest, Mike's thought about the weekly flip starts was what sold me on doing the trade. Because in value, I felt like selling Justin Jefferson and a first didn't feel good for Brian Thomas and Jordan Love at face value. But once Mike mentioned the fact that, there may be a lot of weeks where Love is the starter, it kind of came back to me. It was like, that's a good idea. That gives me the flexibility of not having to start Herbert every week.
Chad, you got the Justin Jefferson side, but you're selling Austin's side quite a bit. Why did you make the trade?
Well, even when I sent him that trade, I told him, like, if I was you, I would take this trade. Like, if I were you, I would take it. And I really feel like that. Like for him on his side of the trade, I would take it if I were him. So it's easy to sell for me. On my side, I just wanted a little bit more safety from an elite receiver. I mean, in that league, I had a bunch of Brian Thomases, essentially. I had Malik Neighbors, Drake London, Ladd McConkey, Brian Thomas, all these guys that are like potentially top 3 wide receivers, but not top 3 wide receivers, right? So I just wanted to get rid of a little bit of that potential just because I had so much of it. I just don't like being oversaturated in a specific segment of Dynasty on any roster, period. And I felt like I was starting to get there.
So what's your quarterback room that you had the flexibility to do that?
Well, before I made this another trade, we'll just rewind time. It was gosh, who are my quarterbacks? It was Bo Nix. Somebody help me here.
Jackson Dart.
Yeah, Jackson Dart and JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So you took a lot of certainty out of your quarterback room.
Yeah, but I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. I'm a firm believer in JJ McCarthy. I actually think JJ McCarthy is going to have a better season than Jordan Love personally. And that may be a hot take, but I just think that highly of him. So, in this situation especially.
Maybe save that stuff for the bold predictions.
Well, that's not one of my bold predictions, so
it is now.
My man
well, it actually ties in. It actually ties into one of them. I mean, he's in the best situation in the NFL. I don't think that's that big of a hot take. I mean, if he's a top 6 quarterback at the end of the year, I mean, people might be surprised, but they're going to say, well, he's in the best situation in the NFL.
Powered by Riverside.
This has been the Front Up.
Peace.